everyone, how's everyone today? I'm just here making this video. Well, actually, it's so hot in Japan. I mean, a lot of my students would say, "Hey Mira, you're from the Philippines, like you shouldn't be feeling that way because your country basically is a tropical country." But guys, Japan is it's so humid. Like once you go outside, your makeup is gone. Like you wasted $3. If you're gonna add it all up, right? Your skincare and everything. So, but anyway, I went out to buy something. But my topic for today is about traditional wife. As a Filipina married to a foreigner, do I want to be a trad wife? I've seen this on TikTok, and like I think for some people they did it like a lifestyle or something. It's totally that 1960s where women they dress up really nice and then they would cook for their husbands, prepare everything. They sometimes say they're kind of submissive, but I think the submissiveness it comes when they make a big decision. So I don't really think they lose it there, and most of them they don't work. So, what are my thoughts? And do Filipinas want to be trad wives? Well, let me start on the first one. First of all, my thought about this. Well, I was thinking about it. I feel like, oh, a trad wife. My grandma, she looked like a trad wife, but no, not really, because basically, on my mom's side, well, after my grandma had 9 kids, well, she started working again, and she was able to work at my grandpa's shop. They had a tailoring shop inside Clark Airfield in Pampanga, and most of my family members, the female, they took up like something related to that business, and they mostly worked. So honestly speaking, most of my female family members, I didn't really see a trad wife. There was one aunt who stayed at home to help out, but it's not like a wife. So yeah, most of my family members, if that's your definition of a trad wives, even if they got married, they still work. Like my mom, she got a nanny for me. So way back, it's so cheap to get a nanny, even now I guess. And then my grandma had someone doing the laundry because way back there wasn't a washing machine. So growing up, I didn't really realize that there's such things such as a trad wife. And then when I started working, and then some women who worked in the bar, they stayed, they rented out at my stepmom's rooms. So I also feel like there's no trad wife because these women are working to support their parents and lots of family members. So yeah, although my stepmom, she's a trad wife, she's that typical woman that whenever, let's say we're gonna buy roasted chicken, my father and my brothers would get the best parts. I and my sister and also her, we would get the so-so parts, which I think it makes sense for her because my father is the one who's making the money, and then my brothers are men. But I don't know what's the logic with that. I think it also had like a bad effect since one of my brothers, I feel like he's not so aggressive in life. Basically, he needs a lot of approval from different people before he gets to that situation. So I don't think spoiling men, I mean my brothers, is also good. However, I've also seen the downside because my stepmom didn't have money. Well, when she was renting out, she did, but when she wasn't doing that, she didn't have her own money. She was so dependent on my dad, and then she couldn't take action, I guess. But maybe it's her personality, I don't know. But like even until now, they're afraid to do small businesses. They're afraid to do something, or maybe they're just lazy. I don't know, because whenever they ask me for like something, I tell them, why don't you do this? I can fund a business like this. And then they would say, oh, that's too difficult. I hear excuses, so I lose interest. And Now, for me, as a person, a Filipina who's married to a foreigner, and ever since I was 16, I started working. I didn't see myself becoming a trad wife. Not because I don't like it, but I remember my stepmom told me when I was young, if ever you get married, make sure you're still earning money. So maybe it's based on her experience, and yeah, something like that. Now, until now, I'm working, and I have saved enough money in case I would have a baby. And then until it's that the money that I kind of saved is enough for me for like, it can, it's like several, like, it's enough, you know. Like, even if I don't work for a certain period of time, and then fortunately, I hope my job would still be there once I decide to go back to work, but I'm not yet pregnant, so I'm still working. But anyway, my point is, being married to a foreigner, I think there's a different kind of expectation. A lot of Filipinos, they feel like foreigners have more money, so it is more likely that women are gonna be trad wives, and they're willing. And I think some foreigners are looking for that kind of wife, right? Like feminine. And of course, as a woman, I want to be taken care of. So I want to keep my job at a certain point, because in Japan they have, like, if you work, uh actually it's not how many hours, it's the salary. So as long as you don't make like more than $10,000 per year, you can, and you're under your husband's insurance, there, it's okay. So basically, for $10,000 per year, $12,000, you can keep on working, be under his pension and health insurance, and at the same time, you know, uh, I feel like I can have more time for myself, so I can do the house chores, because I feel like if you're working full time and then you're gonna do the house chores, that's double time plus the lawn, it's too much. And then you're gonna have a baby, that's like 24 hours of work, 8 hours for, for regular work, 8 hours for house chores, taking care of a child. That's too much. So I feel like a trad wife is a lot of works, and you have to sacrifice one of those and make sure that your husband could somehow provide for two people, or for three including him. So my stance with trad wives, and would Filipino women want to be, I think most of us, we want to be, but as you know, most of us, we are in a sandwich generation, where we're also carrying the burden of our parents, which I have to admit, now I'm in it, and it's so, like, I don't know how to feel about it, because they didn't take care of me when I was young. But if it's my grandma, I'm all out, but it's something more personal. Anyway, since we're carrying that burden, I think when we marry a foreigner, and there's also an expectation from the family that the foreigner would also cover for the responsibility of the Filipina who was supposed to help them or was helping them. I've read a lot of stories, not just because they're married to a foreigner, but even to, when they just married a Filipino. Like, for example, this lady, she's a breadwinner, and then she's already like in her mid 30s, and then she's gonna get married, and then her family was a little bit angry because she told them that she would stop helping them because she wants to focus on her family, or she got pregnant, she cannot work anymore to help them. So there's this kind of burden, not only financially but also emotionally for us, morally, I guess. So being a trad wife is really a bit difficult, I guess, especially if I want to help my parents. I don't want that burden to be brought onto my husband, because he doesn't deserve it. I mean, my parents had a choice, well, way back when I was working full time, right? But I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, sorry again. Would I consider myself, would I want to be a trad wife? Financially speaking, if it's applicable, yes. Because, even in Japan, a lot of women, they would decide on their marriage based on their savings and the husband's income. Why is that so? Before they marry the guy, they would try to, not all of them, but most of them, is this guy capable of providing for the family even after I have a child? Because she knows that she won't be working. So that's how they feel like, is he capable of supporting the family and some of, my wants? And most Japanese women, you can consider them as traditional wives. The husband would give them the whole salary. She would divide that salary to expenses, and then would give the husband some allowance. So a lot of Japanese women are traditional wives. As for Filipino women, there are a lot, but I guess right now we are in this, economic transformation where jobs are more available for women. So a lot of women, they want to work instead of becoming just housewives. However, recently, even though we're having these opportunities, you know um some women, they also get tired. They cannot hustle forever. And they also mentioned that, they're also looking for, becoming like a just a wife. However, their responsibilities, not only towards their kids but also their parents, is too much for them. That's why they cannot just be a wife. However, some make it work, right? So as a Filipina married to a foreigner, hmm, do I want to be a trad wife? Well, if he's a billionaire, no, just kidding. Well, honestly speaking, I have more time now compared to way back. That's why I stopped vlogging. And I'm working. Now, don't get me wrong. I have more time because I found a job that pays me better than my previous jobs. And this job, like, I work certain hours, and it's more than the money that I would earn working for the same hours for my previous job. Of course, because it's a college, it's not like another teaching gig. So I guess that's a factor. So I would say that, now having all this free time, I also did a lot of house chores, and it's quite exhausting. Honestly, I want to hire someone to do it, but I'm also shy because, most of the people who does how, like cleaning services are also Filipinos. So they might think like I'm just being lazy. But maybe if I'll be fortunate to have a bigger house, why not, right? So I do want to be a trad wife, but if I have a child, however, I still want to keep my own identity for the things that I've learned. If possible, I want to keep on teaching, even if I don't have to do my business continuously. But if I could, I would. Or I want to have a business that could be managed without me being there often. So I call myself more of like a self-employed than a business owner, because I can control the time. However, I have to be there. So I want to have my own money. Of course, I'm given an allowance, but I don't want to ask for that too much, because I also want to contribute. Plus, in this economy, having a trad wife is nearly impossible, I guess, especially in Japan, where prices have gone up. And I don't see anything bad with working together as well. But I also don't see anything bad for women who wants to just take care of their family and their husbands. As long as, I guess, the husband could provide, why not? How about you guys? If ever you're gonna marry a Filipina, do you guys want to have her just stay at home, pursue her goals, or you guys want to work it out together because of your, of your country's status right now. Are the prices in your country, is the inflation also bad? So for example, in Japan, before we can buy like 5 kilograms of rice for like, the good ones is already like 2,000, like $200 for 10 kilograms. $200, that's too much. Like $20 for 10 kilograms, but now it's almost 30 to $40. And like, if you want the good ones, and then the so-called cheap ones before, you can buy before like, sorry, that's $30 for 5 kilograms. But nowadays it's already like, I mean, before you can still find like $15 for 5 kilograms, but nowadays there's none. And I just checked right now at the store. I guess because there was an earthquake scare, so that's why there wasn't any rice. So I have to do with my leftover rice. But anyway, those are my thoughts. And again, I have nothing for or against tradwives. Whatever works in the family, we cannot just encapsulate them with this economy. However, I believe that we can encourage and flourish the femininity of a woman once they're supported properly. Because I realized when I didn't hustle so much anymore, I started getting my hair done. I started buying makeup again, and it really helps for me. Plus, I love working outside because it gives me an opportunity to wear my nice clothes. I just don't look at them, I get to wear them. Well, anyway, that's it for tonight. Have a nice evening, guys. Sorry, it's 16 minutes. Have a nice day. What am I saying? Bye.